Yes, you've got it rough, but please stop running. You know I've had enough, so thanks for nothing. And when you went away, you should have told me where you were going. You got a lot of love, but I still love you. I know that I was right the day I met you. I'm never gonna leave or forget you. You carry yourself like the princess in a castle. For better or worse, you're worth the hassle.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is the first day of the month. I'm Travis and we're out on the porch with
Tammy.
I'll give you a clap.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, we never get those. I have to get myself with the one tomorrow night.
Yes.
Man, we had a crazy week this week.
Yes, we have.
I mean, the last few days, all hell's been breaking loose.
Yes.
Yeah, it has. Between airplane crashes or one crash. How many does that make at the airport now?
Oh, I think I've lost count. I don't even know.
It's 3.
4?
I know 3 for sure. Well, if you count the double one plane, the double collision there. Something's going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
People need to fix their planes or something. I don't know. It's nuts.
There's been more plane crashes this year than I can remember in quite a number of years.
And we had somebody plow into the mall today with a car. That was pretty nuts.
Okay. I never did find out if they knew why that happened. I'm not sure.
I don't know. A lot of those vehicles, like the Jeep that I drive, they, on a regular car, they've got the gas pedals set over further to the right. And the Jeeps, they were thinking for so many years that these things, people are hitting the brake and the gas is just making them go and crash into stuff, and it wasn't. The brake and the gas pedal are so close, people were hitting the gas pedal thinking they were hitting the brake. So they were plowing stuff. But I don't know what the case was in that one. Could have been anything.
Yeah.
Could have been medical.
Could have been.
Too many slushies or freezies, whatever they call them now.
Sonic's right there. You never know.
Well, Sonic's got some good stuff, but we're not going to give them any promotion until they sign a contract deal or something. I don't know.
True, true.
We're probably a little too wild for them. Anyways, we got some crazy stuff going on tonight. We're going to be talking, and we've actually have a couple of call-ins. One lady, there's a kid in her neighborhood, and from what I understand, the kid has burned down one of his relatives' houses before. He's like killing pets in the neighborhood and stuff.
Oh no!
And he's only 11 years old.
Oh my gosh!
He might be doing
That is not good.
No, he might be doing a whole Jeffrey Dahmer starter kit there.
Oh my goodness!
Excuse me. And then we've got the school board thing, and we also have the homeless. Don't feed the homeless. That one's pissing me off. A couple of things are pissing me off, and it's not even Friday night for our show. What's pissing me off?
No.
So
we've got some things for that already too.
Anything we want to talk about before we get our caller on the line? They're going to be calling in a minute. So. Oh, I know something we could talk about. You know, you're always dogging me out that I don't know what texting things are, like laugh out loud and stuff like that. A few years ago, I came up with one for us older people. So we're going to put that up real quick. I got ATD, at the doctor's. BFF is no longer best friend fruity or whatever you call it. It's best friend fell. BTW is not by the way, it's bring the wheelchair. BYOT, not bring your own bottle or own whatever. It's bring your own teeth. Don't show up at my house wanting to ask them for a steak and then gum that thing all night. Drive me crazy. Um, FTIW, forget where I was. GP or GGPBL. Oh, that's a mouthful. Gotta go. Pacemaker battery low. GHA. Got heartburn again. Bring me the Tums quick.
Oh my.
I thought I was having heartburn before, but it turns out I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was a heart attack. LMDO. Laugh my dentures out. I'm going to be in line for those here pretty soon. OMMR. Oh my massage recliner. Or on my massage recliner. OMSG. Oh my, sorry gas. I don't know why you would want to tell somebody that over the phone or over texting. They're not going to smell it. That's something you'd say. All right, we got two more, and then we're going to go to our caller.
Okay.
ROFLACGU. Roll on the floor, laugh, and can't get up. That's and TTYL is not talk to you later. It's talk to you louder. But on the phone,
no hearing aid.
on the phone, we've got Susie. She's calling in about a young guy, kid. You there, Susie?
Yes.
How are you doing
Hi,
tonight?
Travis.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Oh, if I was any better, I'd be you, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. You got a bunch of crazy crap going on in your neighborhood. It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple juveniles, so I'm not going to say any names or anything, that, the one has been killing people's animals, and, it's been working up over the years. I guess a few years back, a relative had their home burned down by him. And
how old is this kid?
11.
Good God.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you know how old he was when he burned down the relative's home?
I believe he was around 6 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And
Okay.
most recently, he, right in the middle of a thunderstorm, actually took one of my ducks. I have a few ducks here, and they're pets. They're not, just farm animals. They're actual pets that we raised from babies. And he took her and killed her and tortured her. And the only reason why I found out was because someone in the family was going to tell me, so another person in the family told me because I was out looking for her and couldn't find her.
Oh my gosh.
And the person who did it was arrested, but they're back out now. And the officers explained that, this just keeps happening. They arrest them. They go into the juvenile system. There's not enough room in there for them. They slap them on the wrist and they let them back out.
So do you know if anybody's tried to get this kid any help? Or
I know he's been Baker acted several times. At least 4 or 5 times that I know of for sure. But there's little supervision. So,
I mean, is this kid just like walking up and down? Is he just walking up and down the street?
Yeah. Yep, he just walks through the neighborhood. He's killed other animals in the neighborhood, small animals. He was seen by one of my family members with a dead animal, talking about how he was going to cut the eyes out of it and cut it up. He was seen physically attacking the person who is his caregiver, which is not a parent, and was seen physically attacking her with a bottle of alcohol that he had and was walking around drinking.
11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. You said something about he killed some lady's chicken, too, here recently. And he
killed chicken, and from what I heard, he's killed peacocks. And God only knows what else, because, you know how it is around here. There's stray animals everywhere.
Yeah. Now, you said you had children that feel threatened?
Yeah, my oldest daughter, the brother was, you know, he was kicked out of school, the school that they go to, because he was making threats against the administration. But they let him back on her school bus, even though he wasn't going to the same school anymore. My daughter didn't finish the school year. She finished her testing and refused to go back to school.
Because she was so afraid of the kid?
Right, and this year she's doing homeschooling.
Now, you can't blame her for that.
No. And when my youngest daughter, if she sees them out, she runs into the house and hides. You know, because she knows that they're, you know, dangerous people. And the way I see it is, if they can do that to an animal, it's not going to be long until it's somebody's kid. And there's a lot of people, elderly folks around here, that have grandkids that come and visit, you know, and these are young kids.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
You even told me when I talked to you a few weeks ago that you were afraid of him as well.
I'm afraid of repercussions of him maybe burning my house down, or, you know, coming and harming. You know, we've got a lot of animals here, and, you know, I'm afraid of him coming and harming one of my other animals, you know, or doing something, God only knows what, because the first day that they were out, it was walking back and forth in front of my house making animal noises.
Yeah, no, I'd said something a while back to you about, you know, I've done a lot of research on serial killers and stuff like that, and that's the way a lot of the serial killers have started out. And you said that was an officer that came out, told you the exact same thing?
Yeah, that's his fear. You know, he said this is the makings of a serial killer.
Yeah.
You know, and their hands are tied. The sheriff's department, it seems like their hands are tied, because, you know, they can keep arresting these kids over and over again, but then the system just sends them back out. You know, this is a kid that needs to be institutionalized. You know, he needs to, for his safety and for everybody else's.
Yeah, that's the same feeling I have about it. That's crazy.
You know, because I feel like it's gonna escalate. You know, and you know, it makes you feel helpless, because you know that this is somebody that's going to harm somebody. It's not if, it's when.
Well, I'm checking into stuff to see what can be done about it, but, you know, in Putnam County, they don't really have any places like that, you know, where they could take the kid to get help.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we need something. We need something for these kids, because, you know, maybe if, you know, because obviously the behavior was caught younger, you know, when the house was burned. You know, maybe if there was help for him at a younger age, maybe it wouldn't have gotten this far.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know what I would do to him, but I'd be in jail too.
Oh, I know what I felt like doing.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, the duck was placed in a place that we couldn't get to it. You know, someone had to go out and get it the next day.
Yeah, you say because you live near the water.
Yeah.
And he had killed it and then tossed it in the water, I guess, and was yelling, "Here, gator, gator," or something.
He put it onto a dock that we didn't have access to, and you know, I don't know what his intentions were from there. If he thought he was hiding it, or, you know, what the deal was.
If you're putting it out on a dock, though, that's out in plain sight. I mean, if he wanted to hide it, you know, throw it in the tall grass or something.
That's true. Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
But I know a lot of people in my neighborhood have put, you know, security cameras out, and it's not because of criminal activity in this neighborhood. It's because of this one person. You know, because, you know, people are afraid of him. And recently there's a person in my neighborhood that has some very expensive dogs, and he was caught throwing dog food to them. You know, and the guy went out and picked up all the dog food and made the kid get out of there because he was afraid the dog food was poisoned.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, if
you
he's
know,
killing,
that would have been my first thought, too.
If he's killing other pets around the neighborhood, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. And you know what? I'm at a loss. I don't know what to tell you. We had a person that wrote in and said, where are the parents at?
Well, the parents, I don't know anything about the father, but I do know that the jail has been a friend of theirs.
Yeah, I believe the mother just got out of prison, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I don't want to give out too much information because, a lot of times it isn't the parents' fault, but a lot of times it is.
Right. I mean, I could understand from a parent's point of view that if you're afraid of your own child, what do you do? And if there's no help, what do you do? If it was one of my kids that did that, they wouldn't see the light of day.
Yeah, my kids, they're not afraid of me, but they respect me because they know Dad will tear that butt up.
Right.
And even that my daughter is 19 years old, she won't talk back. I'll pull her pants down. I'll go to jail because I told her it's not, at this point, and by the way, for you guys listening, they've only had one spanking, one swat in their whole life. That was when they were little. But, I told her and I told my son, once you're 18, it's not child abuse anymore. It's simple assault. I'll be out before you get out of the hospital. So if you ever pull any crap like that, you're done. But that is so messed up.
Yeah. I on one hand I feel bad for the caregivers. On the other hand, I'm like, you know what, you need to step it up.
Yeah,
you need to push the issue. You need to get this kid the help that he needs, or keep him so that he can't hurt anybody or anything.
Well, if I have a question, and maybe this is something you can answer, or maybe not, but with the fact that he's been in the system and the fact that he's not with his parents, he's with a caregiver, and you mentioned the fact that he's been seen drinking alcohol, obviously DCF is involved.
Right.
On some level. Do you as a community know whether or not DCF is aware of those types of activities?
I don't know if they're aware of specific things like that. I know that they're aware that there's a problem. But to the extent of it, I don't know what their hand is, what role they have in the situation. I do know that they're always on probation, but I don't know what that has to do with DCF.
Okay. I'm just thinking, and I don't know if this would work or if it would be, another dead end, but possibly making them more aware of specific things when they happen.
Right. Yeah, that's an idea.
Help.
Well, Susie said that the family has come down and told her that he's done that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The parent told me that, the parent was there this day that this happened, and told me that she fears him. She's afraid of him.
I think I'd torture him. I'm not saying for her to go do it, but what the hell? I would never be afraid of my kids. But we had somebody write in and says that at age 11, Baker act him. If the caregiver is afraid, he should be Baker.
Yeah, he's been Baker acted. I know he's been Baker acted several times, but
well,
then they don't have any place to keep him.
Well, unfortunately, the problem, and I've talked to the sheriff's department about this in the past, is that there wasn't a year or 2 years ago when they had a 14-year-old kid that had stolen multiple cars. He came up from Volusia County, went through Putnam. They finally got him up by, I think it was Melrose or something, and they stopped him. When they pulled the kid out, he's 14 years old, grand theft, been in the system, since he was little, and they take him over to juvie. And juvie says, what do you want us to do when we don't have any room? So they got to turn him loose to the parents or turn him back out on the streets. And it's not, I don't see where it's law enforcement, as much as the laws, because they can only enforce the laws that are on the books,
Right. And law enforcement, when they came out, they were excellent. They handled it excellent. They wanted to make sure that they had what they needed to make their charges stick. With that, they said, we're going to do our job, but then it's, you know, then what's going to happen is they're going to be right back out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they trespassed them from my property, and, you know, they did what they could within their limits.
Yeah,
unfortunately. And at some point, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, unfortunately, that a trespass is only a piece of paper.
Right.
You know.
On some level, somewhere when he's taken in and Baker acted, or when he's in a position where someone's examining him, and I mean, you know, as far as psychiatric examinations and what have you, he's not being looked at deeply enough or in the right way that they're handling him the way he should be handled. As far as, you know, I'm saying there's a breakdown there somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
They're turning him back out, you know, putting him back out. Somebody's not seeing something that needs to be recognized and handled in a different way, and that's a breakdown in the system, whether on whatever level it is. So he's just not being handled properly, and they're just turning him right back out into.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what happens is when he turns 18, every record that he has before he turns 18, he starts fresh again.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to do something before then. I mean, at 6, he's burning down houses. At 11, he's choking chickens and, you know, and ducks and other animals. Betty wrote in and said, keep him in. The parents do not have to endanger themselves. But, you know, a lot of times, and I've seen it with the systems, if the parents try to take them back, or, you know, they dump them back on the parents, then the parents, like in this case, the mother's afraid of him. You know, this kid could go in and stab her in her sleep. It isn't like it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And then, if she turns him out or kicks him out, I don't know what she's supposed to do, especially living in a county where resources are limited. You know, and we're a poor community. I'm sure they don't have a lot of money. Although the area you live in seems to have, you know, a little bit more money than, you know, it's not a crack neighborhood you live in.
Right.
In other words. But, you know, and then if the parents don't do what they're supposed to, and they can't control the child, then DCF gets involved, then the parents get charged.
Right.
Where in this case, I think a good old-fashioned butt whipping out behind the woodshed would probably straighten him out a little bit. Just keep doing that. But I don't know, once they're that far gone, you know, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a psychiatry degree.
Well, and the problem is if someone doesn't have a conscience, it's really hard to push a conscience on them.
Yeah.
I wished I had some magic wand I could wave and everything would be all right, or tell you something that, you know, would help you out. If this was a financial thing or a political thing or anything else, I'd be able to spit you in the right direction. But on this, I'm just clueless. I mean, if Baker acting isn't working and locked up at juvenile and he keeps getting turned out and DCF's not doing anything, because it seems like it's been an ongoing problem, so I'm sure we already know law enforcement knows about it. Their hands are pretty much tied. Juvie can't do anything. Don't know what DCF is going to do or can even do. You know, and there's nothing the parent could do. I don't know what to tell you, Susie.
I don't know. We just keep an eye out and make sure that they're not around, you know, and if they are, you know, they've been chased away. But it's, you know, my fear is it's going to be somebody's kid one day.
Yeah.
You know, you can lure an animal, you can lure a kid. Oh,
yeah. I saw another case that was similar to this. I used to live in Deltona. I don't know if you remember the Deltona murders or not.
Vaguely.
Yeah, my daughter had quite a few friends down there. She's now 32, 33. I don't know. I forget. Time's gone by so quick. But her, 6 of her friends, they were having a sleepover at this guy's house. And this other guy named Victor, I believe it was his name, comes over there in the middle of the night with baseball bats, him and a couple other guys. And my daughter that night had wanted to go to the house and have a sleepover. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. You know, tomorrow we're getting up. We've got things we need to do. It's not going to happen. I don't want you being over there. I know they drink and stuff like that. And they were all a bunch of good kids. I mean, they would come into my house, you know, they would have dinner all the time, you know, and just hang out and swim in the pool and everything. This guy, Victor, goes in with two of his buddies and beats them to death with baseball bats. And then after one of them, I don't want to say her name on the air, but one of the girls that they beat to death, they raped her multiple times after she was dead for an hour or so. And it was all over an Xbox.
Oh, my God.
And the kid had started out when he was younger. Guess what he did?
Killing animals.
Yep, killing animals and stuff like that. And now he's serving life in prison for 6 murders. Him and the other, one of the other guys, I think, got 5 or 10 years because they rolled as a witness. But, I mean, short of stopping that, and it seems like even these shooters and stuff, you know, you just had the one shooting down in South Florida there. I don't know if the kid was killing animals, but he had a history. And law enforcement knew, but just like on this one, and I'm not bashing law enforcement. I think we have a wonderful sheriff's department here and stuff, police force and stuff. But their hands are so tied that there's absolutely nothing they can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, they do, and they do their part. You know, they do what, you know, and I feel like a lot of them do go above and beyond. I mean, the officers that came out to my house, you know, they were extremely diligent, and, you know, but the problem is after it goes through their hands, then what happens, you know?
Yeah, the Betty wrote in again and said the school has the financial responsibility to educate him, and they can wash their hands of him. He needs EIP, individual education plan. And that means the school has to fund the housing, which I'm not sure how much the school liability is on it, but at this point, if this kid is causing that much problems, he should be booted out of school.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was sent to one of the other schools, but they're still providing him transportation. And I don't know if that's something that they're bound to do. I mean, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he can hurt somebody at school, he can definitely hurt somebody on the school bus. You know, school bus drivers are way more limited than teachers are as far as, you know, they can't leave their seat.
Has anybody thought, or have you talked to anybody to see if anybody has maybe thought about putting them in military school? I've seen a lot of kids that go into military school and come out straightened out.
I don't know if anybody's thought about putting him in military school. I don't know if they would take him with the mental issues.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know if that's been an option given to the family.
Yep, and it's sad that it's that way. But
yeah, there's some pretty extreme ones out there, though.
Oh yeah. I really, really wish that I had the answers for you, but in this case, I don't. You know, if you want to talk about Trump and Hillary, that would be a different thing. Or, you know, your finances were messed up and you need to get them straightened out, or penny stocks or Wall Street or anything else. But on this, I'm just at a loss because there's nothing that I see, no avenue out for him, especially since the resources are not here in this county.
Yeah.
To get him the help.
I do suggest, though, as a neighborhood and as neighbors, that if you haven't already, you guys should probably get to know each other well and form a network. You know, get each other's phone numbers and all that kind of good stuff, and just be with each other, stand as a force against the situation, not necessarily. I don't want to say stand as a force against the individual, but as against the situation, because it is a situation.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not making light of this, but years ago I was in Singapore and I saw something that I had never seen before. And if they started doing this here, I think it would probably help a lot. In Singapore, they have cane beatings. If a kid gets in trouble or they talk back to a parent or an elder, you won't see them out there cussing elders out or anything, or burning flags or anything like that. But they will put that kid out in the streets, and the elders will go out with bamboo canes and they will beat the living crap out of this kid, and it's like going through the gauntlet. By the time he gets to the other end, he has had the hell beat out of him. They do not, they don't take that crap lightly there. So maybe they should have South Putnam cane beating on some of these kids.
Oh, jeez.
You know, pass an ordinance.
It might slow them down some.
They pass ordinances on everything else.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate to advocate something that extreme, but
Hey, I mean, it works there. You know, and that's the problem we've had in this country for years is that kids haven't been disciplined. They've been weaned down. You know.
Yeah.
But Susie, thank you so much for calling in tonight. We got to go up on the next section and pay some bills here.
Okay.
good luck
Thank you.
with everything.
Yeah, thank you for calling in and sharing that story with us. And I don't know. I'm going to check into a few stuff. Tammy and I are to see if there's anything that we can get this kid help. You know, he definitely needs help, and I'm sorry you're having to live in fear like that in your kids, your children, and that really sucks. Like I say, I wish I had.
Let us know if anything else develops, or keep us informed on anything that happens in the meantime while we're looking for things.
Okay. Will do.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right. You have a good evening,
All right,
Susie.
take
Thank
care.
All right. Bye-bye.
you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really scary.
I'm still in favor of the Singapore cane beatings. Or
I know.
You know, Alabama ass whipping works too. By the way, Aiden, our buddy Aiden, just wrote in. He said to tell us hi. How
Hi,
you doing?
Aiden.
Hey, Aiden. Aiden's one of our listeners. He's 14 years old. We've got some stuff coming up with Aiden here pretty quick. So I'll be by to pick you up sometime in the next week, Aiden. You know what we have to do. But wow, I don't even know what to tell her. You know,
At this point, I mean, till we do a little bit of research, I don't know.
I have no stinking clue. And that sucks.
See, I have some thoughts, but we'll talk about that later.
You know, and that's one of the problems with, I know we got to go to commercial here, but before we cut and go to commercial, you know, when you and I were kids, I remember coming home one time from school, and I got in trouble at school. I don't even remember what it was for. And not only did they whip my butt at school, but as soon as I got home, Mama whipped my butt. When my grandfather came, because they lived right near us, a couple of houses down, when he found out about it, I took an ass whipping from him, you know, and these guys are carrying bottles of water with them. Not bottles of water, but they got water near them. The well's right there. They would whip my butt by the well because they were planning on fueling up at some point. I used to joke around and tell everybody I had a spot warrant. We had a jacuzzi, but it was a spot where I'd ran around in circles when Mama was beating me, holding me with one arm with a switch, you know, a flip-flop, whatever the hell it was. She's lucky there wasn't no DCF then.
Yeah.
I love my mama. Every whipping she ever gave me was for my own good.
Of course.
Yeah, let's go. We've got Cars coming up. Cars is community auto repair specialist. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Saturday and Sunday right now. We just had a winner that won the contest for the front end alignment. I just talked to them yesterday. Trey Roberts. And he's not kin to me. But I do have a nephew named Trey. But for you people that thinks I'm giving it to family members, wasn't him.
That's not allowed.
I don't think at 6 years old he's going to have his little Jeep battery operated front end line. But these guys do excellent repairs and stuff. They don't make anything on their tires. It's just a markup, or there's no markup on it. It's just you pay for the alignment and the balance. And that's it on that. They are hiring still. You guys, you know, people complain about not needing a job. Here's a job for you. If you know some mechanics, go over there, talk to them. You know, they need somebody. You need a job, they need somebody. If you're psycho, don't show up. Mr. Benio Wells. Benio is kick butt. I mean, I love this guy. He does the best pump. He does work that I have done, I won't have anybody else ever touch it. You know, in Putnam County here, I don't know how many, but most of the houses here are on well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're a rural area all the way around the county, except for the city and Palaca and Crescent City, but everything else, and Interlock, and everybody else is pretty much on wells. If you guys need well pump repair, well restoration, pump replacement, well abandonment, or drill a new well, or if you look at you turn on your spigot and it's dripping out, chances are it's a pump or a break in the pipe. He will do all that, and his prices are affordable. He does Volusia County as well as Putnam County. We have Barbie. Hair by Barbie. I will be there Friday at 1 o'clock if anybody wants to come make fun of me. So will Chris. He's going to get that big beard trimmed down. I don't know.
I'll go from Grizzly Adams to Daniel Bryan.
He's going from Grizzly Adams to who?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
He's a wrestler, yes.
Oh, he's a wrestler. You got to give something that people know.
He's a famous wrestler.
Famous wrestler. I don't know who he is. I would have said make you look like George Clooney or something. Or Little Nicky. I don't know. Anyways, Barbie has 2 locations. Friday she's at in Palaca at 916 St. John's Avenue. But you need to call for an appointment. She does the best hair cutting in Putnam County. And in St. John's County, she's well recognized. You have to get an appointment with her. I've been waiting for several weeks to get in. I got to get this fluff cut off the back. Look like one of those ducks. And last but not least for this segment is The Stand. Matt and Luann. These guys kick butt, and they have the best vegetables I've tasted. They're not like store-bought. I'm not going to knock any store chains, but they do have good vegetables. And they have a lot of flavor in them. I mean, we got the pictures, some of the pictures up there. Look at the tomatoes and the cucumbers there. Anyways, go in and see Andrea. Matt and Luann are usually between stands. But you got William over there. Andrea. And they never did give me the other names. So we'll just rag on Andrea. No, Andrea's special. And that's it for right now. Which did you want to get into next? I know who we need to get into next. We have a thing coming up about a homeless guy, but before we get him on the air here, yeah, what's that look for?
About a homeless guy.
Yeah, it's about all the homeless guys and the homeless women and homeless children.
Okay, you said it like you had me thinking about on a different. Never mind. Mental path.
I know. I was throwing you off.
Okay.
You're going to need, I don't know, what's some mental drugs? Some Balta or something by the time I'm done with you.
By the time who's done with who?
Huh? What? Huh?
I said by the time
I don't know
who's
what
done
you're
with
talking
who?
about. Anyways, moving right along, we're going to give you guys what's coming up on this. We're getting ready to have this gentleman, David, on the phone. He does a soup kitchen out in Interlochen.
Yes.
And he's been feeding homeless and everything else. It's a pretty nice soup kitchen. Pop that picture up there. And he's been taking a bashing by who?
He's been taking a bashing by a candidate for the school board, District 4, I believe. And his name is Buddy McInnes.
Yeah. Buddy McInnes was on Facebook, and I saw a post he sent over there talking about Christians, stuff like that, you know, and calling them a POS.
Yes, he did. Very not nice man.
Yeah, and for you guys that don't know what that means, for us older people, that is not polish our silver. She's actually calling him a piece of shit. Or he's calling him. And, you know, and that's just wrong. You have somebody that's trying to help the homeless out. And I know one of the stories about the homeless, and I'm kind of reluctant to say it on the air. But there's a gentleman that's homeless in Putnam County with 2 daughters. and trying to make the best of it. And like David, you and I and David were talking earlier, in 1 second, anybody can be homeless. I don't give a crap who you are. You can be homeless.
That's right.
I've been there. I got bit by a shark. Almost had my leg ripped off. I've got the scar to prove it. Everybody that knows me has seen the scar. And after being in the hospital for quite a few months, I get out. My apartment is gone. The police, and this was over in Tampa when I got back to my apartment in Tampa. I was surfing in Costa Rica. I got back to Tampa. They had evicted me. All my stuff had been set out by the curb. My vehicles were gone, and I had a good job. I was working at the airport, fueling jets. I was writing for a newspaper, and I had some good stuff going on. But is that not the right number? Oh, it's busy. Mr. David, if you're listening to us, your line is busy. We're trying to call into you. Okay, we're going to try to send him out a text and stuff, but he's supposed to be on here. Anyhow, everything was gone. I had a good job, several good jobs, going places in my life. And then all of a sudden, just doing something that I love to do. She's already on it, Tammy. I got his number and stuff. It's just ringing busy. But you know the story. All of a sudden, here I am homeless. And it hadn't been for a guy helping me out. And I had to go to a soup kitchen. Hell, I was homeless for 3 months. I stunk like, Cletus's pig pen. And then, I'm living behind a dumpster in the woods. Digging out of a Crystal hamburger trash dumpster. Trying to get food or trying to get this little tab tear off so I can go in there and get a free hamburger or something. And if it hadn't been for one guy giving me $100 and put me up in a motel room for 3 days, because of that, I was able to get my job, get a shower, get my job back. But anything can happen to your life. In a split second, it's all over. And then you're homeless. It could be a car wreck. It could be your house could get caught on fire. Hell, the market could collapse. Everybody could lose their money. There's not one of us that can't be homeless in a split second. And for this...
And we've seen it happen here on the Putnam Way over and over and over again to many, many people.
Oh, yeah. It's since we've been doing the Putnam Way, not to mention I've been in this area for, 19 years now?
Yep.
And it's not just one or two homeless. It's hundreds that we've seen.
And it's not selective. There's no, oh, well, you're this, so we're going to, fate doesn't pick people. It's just, it crossed the board.
Oh, yeah. And it's messed up. Recently there was a woman that had her kids, her husband went on he had kidney failure. He had to go on dialysis. She gets head on. Her kids in Gainesville. She loses her car, everything else. Now they're losing their house. They have no vehicle. They have no job. And you think you're going to get government assistance in 30 seconds to straighten it out? No.
Nope.
The one guy that on the homeless guy that we wrote, his bottom of his foot got degloved. And then what's in for him next? He's in the hospital for 8 months. He gets out. Same thing. House foreclosed on. Can't walk on his foot. They're not giving him disability. Living out in the woods, living on rats and roaches. I mean, barbecuing rats, that's one of the nastiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It didn't smell too bad once the fur got burned off of it, but still, it's a freaking rat.
Ew.
Don't want to eat Feifel. Feifels
I
cute.
used to have rats for pets, so please.
Used to feed some of your mice to snakes.
I know, but still.
But he was eating them. I've watched him take and smash a bug with his hand, just come right down on it like the claw hammer, and then pick it up and eat it. And he goes, well, once you get past that yellowy, tasty stuff, it's not bad. It's kind of crunchy.
That's
I'm
so
like,
gross.
That's a freaking palmetto bug, dude. What in the hell? Every time I see a palmetto bug now, which we have them all over Florida, every time I see one, it makes me think of him eating it. Makes me want to hurl. But they're trying to get David on the phone. Anyways, And David's in his mid-60s.
He's 68.
68. And trying to help the
Yes.
homeless out and doing the soup kitchen and everything. And now they're trying to shut him down. But I'm not going to give it too many more details. You know, hopefully Marie's getting him on the line right now. I want to talk about, while we're waiting on him, I want to talk about the water drive that we've got going on.
Can do that.
They quench the thirst. These guys need water. They need snacks. These are volunteer firemen and stuff. Still busy? Okay, that stinks. I think I've got the right number. Okay, never mind. They're calling him back right now. But quench the thirst. Our volunteer firefighters need our help. They need water. They're volunteers. That means they don't get paid but like $4. They need snacks, peanut butter cakes or cookies, cheese crackers. Fig Newtons will work. Powerade, Slim Jims. Slim Jims are a big one on their list. Slim Jims and beef jerky because they have a long shelf life. Those things are pretty tasty.
And high protein.
But you guys can pick those up. You see Mary over at Save-A-Lot in Crescent City. They also have steaks on sale right now. T-bones. No, I didn't make it by there today. I hope they're not all gone. They were... I wasn't going to talk about that tonight. But anyways, you guys need to do that. And after we get done with him, I want to show real quick before we get him on the line. You should put the pictures of the parking lot. They should be in there. Not that one. I was over at the fire department at Station 6. And their parking lot is messed up bad. Now, I'm trying to get somebody to dump asphalt in there, and I think I've got a company that'll do it. But we need somebody with a bobcat to go in there. And I'm not going to bash the city or the county or anything like that here. This is a freaking mess. Look at these pictures. It looks like a swimming pool there. And you can see the ruts going in and out of the big doors. When they're pulling out, their axle's actually dragging now and ripping up the asphalt. They're having a hard time getting their fire trucks in and out. I mean,
that's not good because then they're going to have to pay to have the trucks fixed.
Right. Or they're not going to be able to get out.
Right.
You know, one time it's just going to tear, and it's pulling hydraulic lines off and everything else. But look at these pictures. If I can get the asphalt, we need somebody. Somebody knows somebody with a bobcat, and it's going to have to be done pretty quick. It's reclaimed asphalt. It'll get dumped in the holes. Need it spread out. I've got a roller. Can roll it right in. But to get this thing just patched. Not repaired, just patched. So if anybody's got, you can call IITW Radio, or you can call the Putnam Way. If you're in Putnam County and you've got a bobcat that you can go over there and help out, or an asphalt company, come in there and redo the whole thing. So,
that would be nice.
They need help. I mean, look at that. That is a freaking mess. That's Station 6. Okay, we have Mr. David on the phone. How you doing, Mr. David?
Okay.
You there?
I'm here, yes.
Okay. We got to turn your volume down just a little bit. You are
okay.
You are
Got it down.
taking a brutal beating by this guy. And you've got a soup kitchen out in Interlaken, correct?
That's correct.
And you're helping and feeding the homeless and stuff. So what's going on with this
Yes.
thing?
Okay, well, we had the soup kitchen opened at our church in 2011, and we outgrew it. And so we opened up a new building. We bought 10 acres of land, and we opened up a new building in a better location, we thought, in closer downtown part of the city of Interlaken. And then we've been open since March of this year at that location. We spent about $130,000 on this property and revamping this property for this soup kitchen. And then we opened up, and now we've fed over 100,000 meals so far total since 2011 now. And then we get a notice day before yesterday to cease and stop doing it because we're in violation of the zone of our community.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Let's put this picture up of the location of it. You're right across the street from a church. And right
Yes,
near
we're right across the street from a church, diagonally across the street from a school. We're less than about 500, maybe 700 or 800 feet from another church, and also we're about less than 1,000 feet probably from the library. We're also we got the high school there. We got the middle school there. So that's what we're located at.
Well, this guy on Facebook, he's also running for a school board member, correct?
That's correct. He's running. He ran in 2014. Didn't make it then, but now he's running now again for school board. Yes.
Well, he doesn't need to be on the school board. My own personal opinion. I'm sitting here reading a Facebook post that he put up. It says, "Who in the hell allows a soup kitchen to operate in a residential zone neighborhood?" And he said he's been reported to Tallahassee, the Putnam County Health Department, county commissioners, and the city of Interlochen. He continues to operate. Says he has plans on establishing a homeless shelter too. I'm sorry, but a Christian who is bucking zoning laws, code, and state agencies' regulations is a piece of shit. Sorry, quote unquote.
Yes, and he said that, and he called the state. I got a letter from the state, a registered letter from the state, registered and hotel and restaurant management, and I replied to them. I talked to the gentleman there, and I've got the case number. I don't have it with me right here right now, but I do have the case number. And they said they had absolutely no problem with us having a soup kitchen there, that they closed the case, and we would not hear any more from them about it. I called the county, which he said he called the county and complained. I got a phone call from the county. I talked to Charlie at the zoning in our county. It's over our District 4. He said he had no problem with it. Now, all of a sudden, our city has a problem with it.
So this Bud guy, you told me you had offered to help him when he first moved in there with your tractor.
When I first moved in there, yes, I went across the street. Him and his neighbor was doing some yard work and different things, and I got a John Deere tractor, and I offered to. I told him then, I said, look, don't hire no tractor to do no yard work or anything like that, because they was doing backhoe work and excavating work, and I said, look, I'll bring my tractor over and do anything you want me to do for you. I said, at that time, I didn't even know the gentleman, didn't even know either one of them. And I said, I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll help you. I'll try to be a neighbor to you, And as far as helping and locating a homeless shelter there, that's not correct. The only thing we've ever mentioned about future plans was, I said, this area needs something for our youth to be. I said, we need a facility that we could get a concert here, a music here, or something for our youth that could have an activity to go to in the evening instead of putting them out on the street. I said, I'll be willing to feed them if somebody else would come and entertain them, And I said, that's the only thing I've ever talked about. No homeless shelter, no.
Well, I don't know what bug this guy has up his hind end, but I can feel my blood pressure rising right now. I can see my face getting red in the studio cameras and stuff, because this kind of stuff pisses me off. We do a lot to help the homeless out in this county, and there's very few people besides the Putnam Way that get involved with it. And I take my hat off to you, sir. I mean, that's a hard job in itself. And I know, because I've been out and helped with the Coalition for the Homeless a few times, where we've counted that there's over 4,000 in Putnam County. And,
right.
A lot of them, this is only meals they've gotten. And people don't understand there's kids that come through there, too, as well, correct?
Yes, we fed, that's like I was telling them. I said, when they come in there and give me the letter to tell me to cease the other day, we had 22 children in there that day to eat. And families bring their kids in there. We got one gentleman that comes, he's got 2 kids, that him and his wife went through a divorce problem, and he got the children, and he lost his home, lost everything he had. He's living in a tent here in Interlochen on a piece of property. I don't know exactly where it's at because I don't ask them where they live. I don't ask them anything about them. But he's got 2 girls, and he comes there and eats in the soup kitchen. He says that all summer long he comes there and eats 5 days a week because we serve 5 days a week. No matter what holiday, no matter what goes on, we serve.
Now, do you charge anybody to come in there and eat?
Absolutely not. Not one penny. We never ask for anything. We don't ask their name. We don't ask for a penny. We don't ask them where they live. We're not racial. We're not. We ethnic. We don't care where they're from or what background or anything. We don't ask anything of that type. We never put a donation jar up. We have never went to the public and not taxpayer, nothing, and asked for. We have never went to a taxpayer or anything and asked for any money. We have never went anywhere and asked for anything for them or anything else.
So you're not charging them anything. I don't see where the county would have a problem with this because it's better than people starving. You know, once people, and I've seen this all over the country, a lot of people when they're hungry, they go to crack cocaine because it suppresses their hunger. And a lot of people think that all the people that show up at homeless shelters are drug addicts, which I know that's not the case, you know, because I go out and talk to these people.
Well, I tell people, we don't care if you're worth $1 million or if you're worth $2. That has nothing to do with you eating our soup kitchen. We don't put no qualification on it. But I've always said, if you put a man down and make him hungry, and he sees his kids hungry, he's liable to do anything to get food for his kids.
Yep.
I'll try to eliminate that problem. We give them food on Friday. We always give them bread. We give them lunch meat. We give them stuff to take home with them for stuff over the weekend. We try to take care of that problem. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, we make sure we have a big feast for them. We try to even, and we do. But we do another. We have if we find out one's got a birthday, we have a birthday cake for them, and I'll happy birthday to them. Give them a birthday cake. Now everybody says, now what's a little birthday cake for a 55-year-old person or 65? Well, we had a 70-year-old man. I gave him a birthday cake last year with candle on it. He blew it out, and he said, believe it or not, that is the first birthday cake I've got in my whole life.
Holy
wow.
crap! You're kind of breaking up a little bit, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're kind of
there.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was telling
What
about
an
this
awesome
year-old man. I
story.
gave him a birthday cake, and he said I was the only person to ever give him a birthday cake.
Now, is the city's not being nasty to you or anything about it, right? They're only
No,
going
they're not
off.
being asked anything. They're not coming up there and pressure me or anything like that. They just give me the letter and told me to quit serving.
Okay, so are you going to quit serving, or?
We quit serving, and we haven't done anything. We haven't given away any food. We haven't done anything. I had food out to prepare for today, which we didn't cook, you know, and it went to waste. But, you know, we just, other words, we're trying to abide by we don't want to just abide, you know, we're just buying all surveying.
You're going digital on us,
If the law
David.
told us quit doing it, we quit doing it, you know.
Yeah, well, we're going to try to change that because I want every one of our listeners to call the city of Interlaken. Can you get me that number? Not you, Tammy. Marie's getting it for
I
me.
know.
No,
I know.
Do we have a
I was
contact
just
person
looking at-
out there, Mr. David, that would we should call over to the city of Interlaken?
Yes, you'd ask for the clerk, and I don't know for sure she's going to be in this week or not because I went down there and she wasn't in her office. But also they have a assistant clerk, and her name is Mrs. Clover. I think it's her name. But either her or the clerk, either one would be. There's only two people there in the office, you know, most time, and but I think the newspaper. I think the newspaper did get a hold of them and contacted them. I think they did reply to them. They said they had several complaints, but they have never produced any other names to me besides the two names the two numbers. And that's the only two I've ever seen announce names, and any more people complain. Now, I don't know who that would be.
I can pretty much guarantee you who one of them is.
Well, I know who one of them is, definitely. I know it's him and his neighbor across the street, because the gentleman across the street said, I don't want those people in my neighborhood.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all of our listeners and readers contact Mr. Larson, who's the mayor out there, Ken Larson.
Yes.
And have them contact them. And if not, because I don't want to see us. How many days have you been shut down now?
We've been shut down now. Is this the second day? First day.
First day. So that's already one day of people going hungry that could have had
Right.
food. That indirectly, the city of Interlaken is causing people not to be fed right now.
Right. It was over 100 today did not get a meal.
And some of those were children.
Yes.
Holy crap. Well, we're going to see what we can do about getting you some help. And I'm going to be getting a hold of you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to be trying to get a hold of Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, if you're listening, you need to give me a call, please, because this is no light thing here. If you're a member of the Interlaken City Council, whatever it is, you guys need to give me a call, because if not, we have a little over 1 million people a week reading our sites and listening to us. And you are not going to like, this is no threat, because I feel that I'm a psychic and I can see what I'm going to do and what's going to happen, and I can see what my readers will do. I have a lot of readers that will show up. They will pick at the place. They will go national with it, but you cannot starve the homeless. And what Mr. Dave is doing right now is a good thing. It doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. It's not costing the city anything. There has to be. That's how this country was founded. We had to talk about that earlier, Mr. David.
Yeah. Let me add something to this too that I shared with the person the other day. You know, when I was in Vietnam, I got contacted with Agent Orange. I fought the Veterans Administration for several years about my Agent Orange. In 2015, they awarded me my Agent Orange. They gave me a settlement check for $138,000. We spent $134,000 of that money right on that hill on that soup kitchen.
That's amazing.
To show you where that money went to.
Yeah.
And I can show people my checkbook to show them that.
So not only were you serving to help people in Vietnam, but then you come back over here and you're still carrying that mission. I take my hat off to you, sir. I mean, we love our veterans. We try to do everything we can for them. And for you to take your money, you know, my uncle died of Agent Orange years ago. He was in Nam, and it's not pleasant. I've seen what that stuff does to the skin and all. But for you not to take that money and be greedy and spend it on yourself, man, I take my hat off to you. Thank you so much. Because we're going to try to get some people to help you and back you. And I'm calling an attorney. Do you already have an attorney?
Not yet, sir. I haven't got one. Again, I'll give them I give the city over $700 in fees in the last few days, and the money just goes so far. You know.
For $700 for fees for what?
I give them money for the application. I had to give them an application fee for a special permit to do this. They said they were going to file a special permit for me. I had to file a $325 fee, I think it is, for the state, North Florida special permit fee, and then $173 to put it in the paper to file for a rezoning special permit.
So you had to pay all this money out just to do a good deed for the homeless?
I've just done that in the last 3 days, yeah.
Yeah, they tried to pull that on me a couple of years ago. Tallahassee did that. They wanted me to pull a permit for every time I did a cookout for a group. They wanted me to pay $400, $400 to $700 every time I did one, and I told them to kiss my butt. Now, do you have a problem with me getting? I have about 7 of my attorneys that are real good friends of mine. I'm going to talk to them and see if we can get them to waive any legal fees for you. Do you have a problem with
Okay.
getting special counsel? And they're good.
I wouldn't care at all, sir.
Okay, I'm going to have some attorneys contact you tomorrow.
Okay,
And
sir.
you're not going to pay one stinking fee, a legal fee, and I think they need to give you the $700 back, plus pay you a lot more, or just leave you alone.
Okay. Yeah,
Because-
I just wish they'd leave me alone and let me go ahead and feed these people and leave it alone.
Well, that's what we're going to try to get for you. If not, they can be voted in, they can be voted out, they can be impeached. You're coming up on election here, and we
Yes,
have
sir.
enough people that listen to us that we can get some good people in there that will help. And I know the county can't overstep their bounds and get involved in
Right.
city stuff, so I'm not going to sit here and blame the county. I know the sheriffs can't do anything because they have to enforce the laws that these other idiots are
Right.
making. But that's, you know, that's how this country was started, people helping people, and that's why this country is in trouble now. We had this talk earlier is because there's a bunch of a-holes that think it's okay to just keep taking and taking and taking and not giving back. And somebody like yourself, like I say, I take my hat off to you. And I hope
Well,
that
sir,
people are
I
going
really appreciate your time on this, and you know, I really appreciate all the help anybody can give us because, like I say, is we just work hard in the kitchen. We try to serve and try to work in there and do it. I got a lot of good volunteers that helps, and I just hate to tell them today not to come in, and you know that they had stay home. If you know, it's bad, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Mr. McInnes, unfortunately, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes.
Well,
you
I
should.
think that when he started this, I don't know why he started it, why he complained one day. I don't understand that myself. Why didn't he walk across the street and say something to me? That's what I wish he had done.
Why isn't he getting involved? I mean,
Yeah.
and helping out. That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
I don't
If
know.
he'd come over and
That's what he
serve, if he'd
should be
come over and
doing.
serve food one day, he would see the whole picture all the way different.
Mm-hmm.
He's too busy in his own little bubble calling Christians POSs,
That's right.
you know, and trying to
correct.
buck the system to get something that's good. And like I say, that he's the people like him are the problem with this world now. You don't call Christian people that. You don't try to
Right.
shut down things that people are doing to help other people. It's a karma's a
Right.
bitch, you know.
That's okay. We'll
Right,
make sure
that's
that
what
the
they tell
people
me.
of Putnam County know who he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with you tomorrow. What's a good time to get a hold of you, Mr. David?
I'm up and about at 8:00 in the morning, so anytime after that.
Okay, I'm gonna call and talk to these attorneys tomorrow. Some of them I know have
Okay.
courts in the morning, but by tomorrow
sir.
afternoon, I'm gonna get in touch with you and give you some numbers to call.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much for coming on the air, and we got your back on this one. Don't worry. I think
Okay,
everybody
sir.
in Putnam County
thank you
will
all
have your
so
back.
much.
All right. You have a good one, sir. I'll be getting in touch with you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Have a
sir.
good
Have
evening.
good night.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
In the words of Cletus, good God, what
I know.
in the
It's
hell?
horrible, isn't it?
And they're gonna make him pay a bunch of fees and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I know. He told me that when I was on the phone with him this afternoon. He remodeled that place. When he fixed it up, he told me, he said he made each table with wood from a bowling alley that he brought with him when he came down here from up north, and he decorated it to look like back in the 50s, like a bowling alley back in the 50s. So he's put a lot of work into that place
Yeah, and
to
there's
make it nice for those people.
the only other place I know like that is Bread of Life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Miss Blanche over there.
Mm.
And I've been there. I've been in there. I've seen what they do. It's not like a bunch of thugs are in there.
No.
You know, it's people that want to eat. And I cannot believe the city of Interlochen. Shame on you people out there. You should be taken out and having a Singapore cane beating and put on your ass for letting this happen to the people in your county or in your city that you took a thing to. Hey, we're going to help people out. That's why we're in office. Shame on you. Somebody
Yeah,
should
when
take you guys out back and get some cojones, some gonads. Tell this guy I'm trying not to cuss. I'm so
I
freaking
know.
pissed off right now. You know how I feel about the homeless and our veterans
I
and
was
stuff.
in tears with him on the phone this afternoon. I mean, the man had me in tears.
The mayor, you need to, you know what? If people want to call, here's the number. 386 684 3811.
His email address and phone number are in the comments.
I'm sorry?
His email address and phone number are in the comments.
The email address and the phone number are in the comments.
Mr. Larson.
And we're going to put this information up on the Putnam Way as well. All
Yeah.
of this information and the pictures and everything that were up earlier, I'm going to put all that up in the page.
I don't know Mr. Larson. Probably a good guy. And I know he's probably, you know, a lot of the county out their city out there has to follow the laws and stuff. But those laws were made by the city. You can change those laws. They have the ability to do that. Call a special meeting. Today started one day that the homeless weren't fed. And that includes children. And I hope when you
Right.
go to bed tonight that you listen to that. Let it sink into the tiny little brain there.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Exactly.
children and homeless people. They're not all drug addicts. They're people just like you and I. Their stomachs hurt when they get hungry.
Yep. Families.
And families. People trying to
This-
stay together. Now, holy crap. You better take this for a
Okay.
minute because I'm gonna
I
put
have
my-
a question. This is the question in my mind about this. Also, when it comes to the governmental issue about this, you know, the commissioner of the board of the county knew enough to say that he wasn't able to do anything about it because it was a city matter. Now, I understand that Mr. McInnes lives in the vicinity of the soup kitchen. Okay? He lives in a neighborhood around the corner away from it. However, he's running for a position on the school board. He's trying to get elected
Exactly.
onto the school board. Why would you do something like this when you're trying to get elected into a county position? He doesn't know enough
He's going to be a school board
to
member.
realize that he should be staying out of this kind of stuff right now.
He doesn't need to be involved in it. What the hell is this guy going to do? Okay, look, it's like this. You got kids, okay? Kids over at the homeless shelter. Same kids that are going to be going into the schools. What the hell is he going to do? He's trying to get the homeless from being fed. And now the prick, yes, I called you a prick. Come whip my ass. I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. Take your big old cowboy hat off and come up here and we'll roll in the dirt for a little bit. But what is this prick going to do to kids in our school systems? Don't elect this guy, people. If he will shut down the homeless and try to get a homeless shelter shut down and call people that are Christian people and veterans, a freaking veteran that served his country who took his damn money and went and opened up a soup kitchen, and he would do this, and you would call him a piece of shit, you're worthless. What are you going to do to the children when they get into the schools? You going to take their free lunches away from them? You going to tell them they can't have this, they can't have that? God, no wonder you didn't
This
get
is
elected
not the
before.
Exactly. This is not the person you want to put on the school board.
It's a person you want to run out of the freaking county. Get him out. We don't need people like that. Sir, not even sir. Hey, take your dumb ass, get the hell out of our county, go to some place. You know what? Go to Iran. They would love to have you there. You can shut down the homeless shelters there. Jesus Christ. We need to do a freaking commercial break here.
Okay.
I need to calm down for a minute.
Animal shelter. The animal hospital, I should say.
Need to find a
You gonna
doctor to
be
give me some
okay?
prescription
Are you
weed.
okay? Quick, goodness.
Let her do these commercials so I take a break for a second. Keep me off the
I'm
screen.
going to do them.
I'll tell you which commercials you got here. As soon as I find them. The Animal Health Center.
Animal Health Center.
got O'Reilly's,
Dr. Nagy.
Birds, and then the cinema.
Okay. That's Animal Health Center in Palatka. That's Dr. Nagy and Dr. Smith. We want to thank them again for taking such good care of Cracker. They do have boarding services and veterinary services. If you want a good place to take your animals to be taken care of well, take them to Animal Health Services in Palatka. Next up, let's do O'Reilly's.
Correct. Give JR a good shout out.
I know. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. That's JR over there at O'Reilly's. And they are, I know they had some specials going on this week, but I honestly don't remember what you said they were. They will match anyone's prices in town, with the exception of things that you find on the internet. So go over there to O'Reilly's in Palatka and visit JR and see what they have.
Now you have birds.
Birds, sales. Mr. Bird, he's got lots of storage sheds over there and little she sheds and he sheds and all kinds of stuff.
He doesn't have she sheds over there. He doesn't have those. He doesn't have those. He can't legally sell them, but they can turn them into that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They aren't she sheds and he sheds yet. You have to turn those into them yourself. But you don't have to do a whole lot to them to turn them into those. He's got some really neat little, they're like a screen shed in the front and a little storage thing in the back, and you can put your little table in there and your grill and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to worry about those flying alligators that we have here in Florida that love to bite. So go and see Mr. Bird over there, Bird Sales, and he'll help you out and get you some financing if you need it.
Yeah, that one that I'm gonna have to get a picture of it and put it up. The one you're talking about is cool as all get out. It's all screened in. It's like 16 by 20, 24, something like that. It
made an impression on me when we were over there.
Yeah, that thing is kick butt, man. It's got a little room in the back.
That.
It's got. Yeah, the dog kennel one too. I forgot about that one.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, but that one, I'm thinking about getting one of those because, like you say, these our state bird, the mosquito. Those things are horrible with all this rain we've been having.
They're like little flying alligators.
Thanks to the county, they've been coming out. I've seen their mosquito trucks going up and down the street quite a few times.
Really? I don't think we've had a mosquito truck come by here in a long while.
Oh, they've been coming by here. They were by here twice in the last week. So thank you to our county for getting that out and getting it done. I'm tired of getting bit. We had somebody get West Nile, wasn't it? Or some virus not long ago.
They have found a couple of mosquitoes that have West Nile. I believe it was in St. John's and Duval, maybe, or somewhere around there. But nobody has actually been diagnosed with the virus itself, not a person.
Yeah, we have a video that I did yesterday with Amanda over at Palatka Cinema.
Yes.
But before we put that on, you guys go down to Mr. Bird's because they will do rent to own. If you don't have the financing, they will do rent to own. If you do have decent credit, they can get it financed for you. That's what I did on my building. Got it financed. We turned it into a studio. It's a big building too. But they bring them out and deliver them. He sets them up, levels them out. No problems with it at all. Some of the buildings you do have to go and get. You'll have to pull your own. Go to code enforcement and get your permit for it. But it's not too hard to get. They're pretty easy to work with. I think it was like $50. Was it 50? 100? It's about $50 or $100. But if it's under a certain size, the normal sheds don't require that. So they can come out and set it right up. And you don't have to go to a storage place.
Yeah, those are nice.
But they're closed on Sundays. So I don't blame them. We're closed on Sundays too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead and put the one on from Amanda over at Palatka Cinema. She's a sweetheart. Hey gang, I'm here with Amanda down at Palatka Cinema. Amanda, what kind of deals you guys got going on?
Right now we have our 250 Tuesday. 250 Concession Tuesday is a deal we offer on concession items. Tickets will never be 250, but still come on down, help us support 250 Tuesday. And as always, I want to thank the people of Palatka and Putnam County for Hashtag keep it local. We really do appreciate your support, and we wouldn't be here without it. And you know we always love the kids. Everything we do is for the kids. So bring them on down, help us out, and as always, hashtag keep it local.
All right, thank you, Amanda. You're the best. Yeah, she's a little sweetheart. I love her to death.
I like her little hashtag thingy.
I know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But she's
keep
right.
it
Keep
local.
it local. You know, a lot of people in this county go over to St. Augustine and stuff. They haven't even seen the changes that have been made at the theaters. I mean, they've had, you know, new seats, all kinds of stuff going on. And yesterday when I was in there, I just left the eye doctor. My eyes were all dilated. And I saw the sign there that said 250 Tuesdays. That's only on the concession. I go, is that on the tickets too? And they've got a huge sign there, and I can't see anything but spots. I mean, you know, I love my eye doctor to death, but I hate when they put that stuff in your eyes because you can't see. And you can see, but, you know, any amount of light, I'm squinting. I look like I'm from Asia or something. But anyhow, she told me, I'm going to kick you. And I'm like, for what? She goes, the sign is right there. And I said, man, I'm sorry. My eyes are dilated. I took off the sunglasses. She goes, good God, you look like you're hopped up on drugs. Look how big your pupils are. I'm like, I can't see. Wait till I show up there one day I have Cletus show up one day, do an interview with her. That'll blow her mind.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We're starting to get down on time here.
Yes,
We've got
we
about
are.
25 minutes left. But the mayor of Interlaken, we were just talking about that. There's a picture of him. I want you guys to call him. He's probably a really nice guy. He looks like he is. He's got the big smile and stuff going on. Don't be bashing him, but voice your concerns when you call him and email him. You know, he needs to be aware of what's going on, and he needs to see that, you know, that one or two people do not make the whole community. And this is a good thing. And he's only going to do what the public wants him to do. So don't be calling him up and cussing him out and everything, but do give him a call at 386-684-3811 and voice your concern to him. You know, this is something that the community needs. Every community in the United States needs one. There's homeless. There isn't one town. Even look at Hollywood. Look at all the homeless people out there. L.A., San Francisco, your big cities. You got people, hell, in this small rural community I live in. It's mostly, you know, 1 acre properties and stuff. But you've even got people living in the woods here. And there's one place where I know that there was over 200 people living there in the woods.
Oh my gosh.
And they're not all drug addicts. Yes, there are a few of them that are on meth and that do smoke crack. But those are the people that don't really eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are the people we wind up reading about in our paper that, you know, have overdosed and died. A lot of these people are really good people. When you get out and go meet them, you will have a different outlook on them. The guy trying to raise his 2 children, you know, he's looking for work, and I'm about to contact him because I found somebody that's going to hire him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then hopefully somebody will say, hey, I've got a place, I'll give the guy a break. Cut him his first month's rent, allow him to get ahead. That's what happened with me. You remember that? I mean, hell, I couldn't get a hold of anybody, but because of that one guy, give me $100 and 3 days in a Holiday Inn, I was able to get back on my feet, got cleaned up, and I stunk bad. He knew it, but the guy was so cool, he went and told the people at the Holiday Inn that I had been helping him work on a pig farm. And then the girl there, I told her what happened. Showed her the scar, still had the bandages on my leg. Showed her the scar. And then, you know, from there on, went over to what was TJ Maxx at the time and Woolco. Went back to the airport, got my job back, fueling jets, and writing for the paper again.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that one guy, and you never know what difference you can make. This guy's not taking any money. This is all coming out of his own pocket and stuff that he's doing this. You know, it's a shame.
And these are decent meals that he's feeding these people too, Travis. You should have heard some of the stuff. I mean, they get meat and 2 vegetables, a roll and dessert. I mean, this is a decent hot meal in the middle of the day for these people every day, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and he's been doing this for a while.
Yes.
He took his money from Agent Orange.
Yes.
Instead of going and buying a new car or getting a new house or, you know, going out and drinking it to death or just pissing it away on something for himself or his wife or whatever, he put it into the soup kitchen because he wants to make a difference. And that's how this freaking country was started. People helping people. And that's the bullshit that's going on right now that is so wrong that everybody's in it for themselves. They don't do anything. I'm not going to pat ourselves on the back here. But it's hard. Every Christmas, I mean, hell, we've raised 50,000 toys for the kids in the community. That's a big need. You know, luckily the state backed off of us because what we were trying to do was help them.
Yeah.
You know, help people. That's what this country was founded on. When the Indians went and helped the Pilgrims, they didn't have to do that. You know, look what happened to them. Because the government got involved, just like with this bull crap. Leave it alone, county officials. Let it slide. City. Whoever you are in government, get behind and back this guy. You're going to get, your voters are going to respect and like you more if you get some cojones and stand up to the people that want this shut down. This is a good thing, and it's not costing the taxpayers of this county one red frickin' cent. And you know what I want people to do? I want people to get, you got an extra can of beans in your cupboard. I'm going to pack up some stuff, and I'm going to run it out to him for his soup kitchen. And then try to get some of the other businesses involved to help donate stuff to him. Everybody show up out there. Go donate to this gentleman. You know, give him a gift card to Walmart. Walmart's always donating. Scott, man, the guy's kick butt. By the way, he got the rest of the shoes in for the firefighters at Station 6.
Good.
He donated boots to him. Scott is the man. Do we still have a picture of him?
I'd have to find it.
All right, look for that real quick. I want to give him props before we jump into this next thing, because we're running out of time on this. Yeah, we're getting ready to get with the school board thing here in just a second.
What day?
We don't have time for that.
Hold on.
The school board, we're going to get into it. We'll pick the rest up on Friday night. I know we were going to get into that, and a lot of people want to know about it and the crap that's going on there.
Are we extending the show?
Huh? Oh, we can't. Yeah, let's go ahead and extend the show. Yeah.
We have 18 minutes, but we can always go over on YouTube.
Go ahead and extend this show. It's already extended. Oh, it's already extended.
Okay.
Never mind. Marie's saying it's already extended. Good. Because Friday night we've got Mr. Joe Wells on from the Sheriff's Department.
That's right.
Joe is the man. I don't want to cut him short.
No.
On this, because this has nothing to do with him.
I'm still looking for
that guy loves his community too. You know it.
Yes, he does.
But, anyways, Scott over there at
Walmart.
At Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's kick butt. You guys want to make a difference? Go in there and buy stuff at Walmart and take out this. There's Scott right there. Thank you, Scott. He's the man. I understand he's on vacation right now. Tammy?
Yes.
Are you there?
I am.
You look preoccupied. You got a mosquito biting you?
I think so. I've got something.
Hey, I don't have a
quite
fly.
Figure out what it is.
I don't have a fly over here tonight in this studio. But you guys...
Something was bothering the back of my arm.
Do we have a address for his soup kitchen? We'll give it on Friday night. That'll give people time to go. Get over to Walmart. It'll be on after the show, Marie was saying.
Okay.
Go over to Walmart or Hitchcock's or Save-A-Lot. Those are 3 great places. Go over there and get some water to take over to them. Pick up some packets of Kool-Aid. I mean, look in your cupboards. I know everybody in this county, 70,000 residents, can get one canned good to take over there to help this man out. But the important thing is get behind him and stand behind this. This is a good thing. This isn't like he has a crack house over there. You know, then they said there was something about, that the guy had said something about pedophiles being in the area. And that's why he wanted it shut down, that there might be pedophiles going in there and stuff.
Well, I think he was trying to backtrack on the fact that he had made the Facebook post.
Yeah, he did.
And then that was his next excuse, was that he felt like it was drawing pedophiles to the area. There were already pedophiles in the area long before the soup kitchen was there.
There's pedophiles all over Putnam County. There's pedophiles all over Florida, all over the United States. There's a bunch of sick bastards in this world. But what he's doing is not a sick thing.
No, it's not.
He's not in there bringing kids in to molest them or trying to get people involved in there and running a sex ring. You know, he's trying to feed the homeless. And kids. Holy crap, you see how many kids they fed? And how many people they've had? Over 100,000 meals?
Exactly.
I can't even fathom how many meals that is. It's probably about as much as my son eats in a week. But, you know, 17.
And it's a family operation.
Yeah.
It's him and his wife, and he's got his granddaughter in there helping him out. It's a family operation, and it's something that they do to give back to the community.
Yeah. That's you know what? If these, and I'm not going to bash the city workers out there, because I know they have laws. It probably were laws before they ever got in office. But they have the chance to change it. They want to show the people they care about them. They care about the community. Those are people in your community. So you guys don't bash them up when you call them. Just tell them that the thing needs to be changed. They need to back off. They need to let the man do what he needs to do. It's 130,000.
He did also tell me, he did not mention this on the phone call, but he did tell me also that he was told that when he goes in front of the zoning board on the 20th, which is the August 20th is the day that he's got his appointment. The zoning board in Interlaken is down one person right now. I think somebody passed away, so they have not replaced that person. Another one of them is on vacation. So there's the possibility that he's going to be going in front of only 3 people to make this decision. He is concerned that one of those 3 people, or one or more of those 3 people, might be being influenced by Mr. McInnes.
Mr. McInnes can kiss my white ass. I'm telling you that right now. I read what he wrote on there. We put it up on the screen. Put it up there one more time for me, Chris. I know I'm messing you all up tonight, but this is just really, really getting in my crawl right now. Old man McInnes. There's a picture of you in your little cowboy hat there. But he wrote, "Who in the hell allows a soup kitchen to be operated?" Yeah, there you go, Chris. Who in the hell allows a soup kitchen to operate in a residential zone neighborhood? People that care, people that want to help out the homeless, people that want to be good people. That's who. I'll answer the question for you right now, buddy. That's who does that. That's who in the hell does it. People like Mr. David. You know, and then you're going to write under your post. It's right there. That's your post. It's on Facebook. That he's been reported to Tallahassee, the Putnam County Health Department, county commissioners, and the city of Interlaken. He continues to operate. Of course he continues to operate. He's a good man. He has a good heart. There's a need there. Next line says he plans on establishing a homeless shelter, too. That's bullshit. You did not hear the man say that. He said it's a need there, which he is right. There is a need. And it says, I'm sorry, but a Christian who is bucking zoning laws, code, and state agency regulations is a piece of shit. Sorry. No, you're not sorry. You wouldn't have put that up there. You would have your freaking cowboy.
Calm down. Take a breath.
Dumbass over there helping. Instead of doing that, yeah, show a picture of him. That smile right there. With that smile and that goatee. Good God. Man, what in the hell is wrong with you? going to call Christians that buck the law. The government's been screwing Christians for all these years. I don't know where in the hell you get off, but I wish you'd get off out of this county. We don't need people like you. People do not vote this guy in. You know, and I'm sure you got money with that big old 10-gallon hat you got on there, Tex. And if you feel like you have the need to come whip my ass, hey, I got nothing else better to do. As soon as I'm done with the show up. I got a nice mud puddle out there in the middle of the road where the county hasn't fixed it. Won't you bitch about that a little bit? You know, I can't even get Roadworks to call me back. Mm-hmm. That's the least of my concerns right now. This guy is doing a good deed for the county, for the city, for the state, and they're going to shut him down. Jesus Christ. And they're going to call Christians a piece of shit. You know, what kind of people does that? Good people. Get on your horse there, Tex, and ride. Get your ass out of our county. Move out of the state. I'll tell you what, they're looking for people like you out in California. Go out there and make a difference. Go out there and rag on the homeless. He probably wants to see illegals come into the country, too. No, I bet he's standing up for that. You know, that kind of crap just pisses me off to no end.
No.
All right, let's talk about the school board. I got to get off of this because, you know, but before I close out on that section, you guys get a hold of Mayor Ken, call the clerk's office, call anybody you can call, and then somebody needs to start a petition on it to leave this gentleman alone. Rezone it. Do whatever you got to do and be in compliance with the laws. Or just forget about it. You have the power to do that. Why don't you go and and find something to kick this guy's butt out of the county with? You know, up his taxes, so that he can take that tax money from him and put it toward the homeless. And by God, I hope he does open up a homeless shelter. They need that. Some place that a homeless can come in, get put on the right path, where they can get a shower. They can get some clean clothes. Hell, we got a ton of clothes in our warehouse over there that we give to donate to fire victims and homeless and everything else. We got enough clothes. I'm going to take a bunch of stuff and donate it to them. That our readers and our listeners have donated to help out people like this. Good God. All right, let's move on to this county school board meeting. Where did we leave off last night?
Okay. I was getting ready to start saying last night before we moved on any further in the video.
Give us a recap.
Well, we had started off with Kathy Jorgensen taking control of the meeting, and her voicing the fact that she didn't feel like Superintendent Surrency's attorney's bill should have been paid due to the fact that he hired him on his own accord. She felt he should have used the school board's attorney. She didn't understand the conflict of interest there. They overruled her and went ahead and paid the bill. She didn't remember Nikki Cummings admitting that she had called Tallahassee in regard to her allegations. That we moved past that.
But she was sitting right. She was sitting right beside her in the meeting.
Right,
literally
she was
inches.
Sitting right beside her.
Knees probably bucking up against, bumping up against, bucking up against, whatever you want to call it.
Correct. So before I went any further on the video, I wanted to state that the Guardian program that Putnam County is implementing this coming school year it increased the number of officers that are going to be in the schools, and it also put volunteer guardians in the schools as well. The security aspect of this program is that nobody knows how many are going to be in each school, who's going to be where, who the guardians are. We know they're not teachers, but they could be any other administrative position in the school. This is just a basic overview of what the Guardians program basically is. Miss Jorgensen has had an issue with the Guardian program basically from the beginning, because she wants to know who the people are in the Guardian program, what positions they hold in the school. She says she doesn't want to know their names, but she maintains, I'm not sure where she stands on that, but she wants to know what positions they hold in the school and other, pertinent information about the people. She doesn't seem to get that part of the safety of the people, both of the children in the schools and the safety of the administrators, teachers, staff, however you want to look, everybody that works in the school and goes to school there, hinges on the fact that no one knows who the guardians are, how many there are, where they're located in the school, etc. I don't understand what it is that she doesn't get about that.
Well, she's not going to be in office in 88 days, right?
Exactly.
So it won't be any of her damn business.
So why does it
anyways.
matter?
Yeah. In the words of Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make?
Exactly. And I don't get why she seems to continue making such a big deal about this information. And at the end of the day, I don't know if, and this is just my opinion, and if I were Gator and Dr. Cernsey, I don't know that I would feel secure giving her the information because she wants it so badly.
Well, you know what? She probably wouldn't remember it anyways because she was sitting right next to Nikki Cummings when Nikki Cummings said that she was the one that threw Rick Cernsey under the bus. We're going to have him on the air. I'm not going to get into it with him about everything that's going on and all this crap. I'm sure he's already heard enough about it. He's probably tired of hearing it, but he's going to give us ideas of what he has coming up in the future and stuff. But, for what he's gone through, I'm sure a lot of people would have quit their job already. And I have seen him make a big difference. And he does seem to care. Unlike the last school superintendent we had, Rick Cernsey, he's done a good job. He's not out there showboating for, let me tighten up my tie and look good. That's what I'm here about. I'm here to collect a paycheck. No, he actually, from what I can see, and like I say, I've never met the man personally. I've never even shook his hand. I've never seen him in public, so I don't know who he is. I only go by facts and what I know to be true and what I've seen in the school system. I've seen him get rid of some people that should have been gotten rid of years ago.
Right.
So for that, I take my hat off to the man, and I don't understand why Jorgensen, and I'm sure she's a nice woman, but why she can't seem to remember one thing from one meeting, and then she wants to know about, other stuff, just doesn't make any sense. That she doesn't need to know who the people are, even if she doesn't know the name. She doesn't even need to know the positions. Nobody in a limited term office needs to know that stuff. Who's to say they aren't going to flip out later? Rick Cernsey and Gator Deloach are the only two, and the people that are doing it, of course, are the only ones that really need to know that information.
You're right, and that's how I felt about it, and I'm sure that's how they feel about it, being the people who are implementing this program and maintaining it. She seemed to think that they needed it for policy making or whatever. I personally, unless I'm missing something, don't see where they need that for policy making. You direct the policy at the guardian, whoever that person is. It doesn't matter. Just direct it at them. That's it. Anyway, there was quite a couple of different places in the video where she seemed to have the same issue over and over again, and they kept dealing with it repeatedly. Joe Wells got up there and had to re-explain the financial input of the sheriff's department against what the school board was going to be putting into the Guardian program as far as the sheriff's deputies were concerned, and the increase in the number of sheriff's deputies this year as opposed to last year, and what their each the contribution of each monetarily was going to be.
Hasn't that been discussed in other meetings, and didn't they already have that? Because I remember seeing Gator get up there and talk about it. And
yes.
If my dumb ass can get it, I don't know what the problem is.
He had to get back up there again in this last meeting, and he had to re-explain everything all over again and walk them through the numbers and what everything was about and how they arrived at the figure again before they would. And I thought they had voted on it all already. That's the thing that I was surprised to see, because I thought they had already voted on it and it was already a done deal and everything was being implemented. And they voted on it. They took a vote. I was confused.
I'm confused too. What's this video clip we have?
Okay.
Which soundbite is this?
Which one?
The third list.
The third list.
You gave me 3 lists from 3 videos. It's the third one.
There's 3 lists from 3 videos that you gave him.
Are you at 3010?
I'm at the video, yes. That
yeah, 3010.
Started with those.
Okay. This is where she calls them a master board. And I'm not sure exactly. Have you ever heard of that?
I have a master soundboard.
Okay, we'll watch and see.
I know a buddy. I got a buddy who has a boat that does. He takes people out in the water, and he has a master baiter.
We'll watch the video and then tell me what you think. Maybe you can help me.
You should have to pay that.
All right, real quick, I have no problem with the superintendent acquiring outside counsel when.
Turn it up and restart it over. We're going to start it over again because you can't hear it.
Represent him in.
You could hear it.
I hit the wrong button.
You should have to pay that.
All right, real quick, I have no problem with the superintendent acquiring outside counsel when it's necessary and the board attorney cannot represent him in certain issues, particularly if he's accused of wrongdoing of some type. And this is past practice. It's been done for many years. I know a superintendent, Ed Hedstrom, was my attorney for quite a few years, so it wasn't uncommon, so I don't have a problem with it.
And I was under the impression that he was within his rights to do it because it would put Charlie in a position of having to do that, yet it's
having to do what? What did Mr. Holmes do? Having to do what?
I guess what the superintendent saw as, I won't necessarily say an accusation of having done something wrong.
Right.
Yes.
He was accused of illegal,
unethical practices or something to that nature.
That's what the paper said.
If a board member reports a superintendent for a crime or an act or something that was unethical, it's certainly within his right to obtain, his or her right to obtain counsel. And
I'd like to say something when there's.
And I'm through with that. I'm good with it.
Okay, Jane.
Regardless of what he did or what he was hired to do, he did represent our superintendent, and he needs to be paid.
Well, I agree he needs to be paid, but I don't think the taxpayers should have to do it. I just don't. The right way to handle, we're a master board. We are a master board. We had, 16 hours of training, how to work together. And the right way to handle that would have been through the attorney and talking to Nikki about it. I mean, it's just been such a battle, such a continuous battle between the superintendent and the majority of the board that it's become a nightmare.
Okay, you can stop it there. Yeah,
well,
that's good.
Okay, she's right. The taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it. Nikki Cummings threw him under the bus. If you're going to do something like that to one of your fellow workers, you should be responsible for that payment. If Jurgensen had anything to do with it, she should be responsible. I don't know that she did because she apparently was just Nikki Cummings and not her. I'm not going to say she did something and throw her under the bus when it wasn't her. But she's right. The taxpayers should not be responsible. It should be Nikki Cummings that should have to pay for that. But she's got a lot of legal fees to pay for right now, so one more wouldn't hurt her.
Sure, she's got a lot on her own.
And I'm not, I'm not bashing Mr. Jurgensen. It's, it doesn't make any sense how you can't remember that, and it doesn't seem like you're well informed on some of the stuff. And then what she was saying about the school board, in conflict with, and of course I'm paraphrasing here, but in conflict with Rick Surency, the reason that there's been problems before, the gentleman there, and I can't think of his name, that other thing got me so pissed off. And so
Mr. Buckles?
Buckles and what's the lady's name on the end?
Miss Gilliard.
Gilliard. Yeah, I love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
But Buckles is always fighting for the kids. Mm-hmm. And so is Miss Gilliard. And so is Rick Surency. So there's only two people that I can see on that board that haven't, either they're not aware of what's going on, or it's just like they're fighting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They should make it a three-board panel.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to bash Ms. Jurgensen. She needs to just go back and read the minutes on what's going on and keep informed. It seems like she's so out of the loop on stuff. But like she said, see those people out there? I don't like them.
Exactly.
We got our own soundbite for saying that, and that was pretty funny.
Exactly.
Why are you leaving the meeting? She's packing her stuff while she's saying that,
This is true. Okay, so the next soundbite that we have, or portion of the video, is she's talking about the minutes of the meeting from the last meeting previously, and she's talking about the fact that they supposedly talked about security, but she swears they didn't. So go ahead and 3242.
Next are the school board meeting minutes from our last meeting. And if you go to the very end, it says executive session, and under executive session it says school security was discussed. And I think that needs to be taken off of there, because we did not discuss any school security. The sheriff, upon advice of his attorney, would not discuss the details of the Guardian program with us. So I would like that taken out of the minutes, please, because we did not discuss school safety.
Well, I think we did discuss elements of it, but there was not a lot of information that could be released, so to say it didn't.
What do you mean could be released?
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
If you'll let me,
I'll
give you the floor. Certainly, it's discussed on what could legally be discussed, and then people on advice of counsel were prohibited from giving additional information. So I think the statement is accurate, and it doesn't matter to me whether it's there or not, but I'm going to vote to keep it like it is, because we did have to go into executive session. So.
Do you remember anything being discussed other than the sheriff saying his lawyer said not to say anything?
Well, he could not disclose the names of those people.
It wasn't the names. He couldn't talk about anything.
Oh, I don't.
All right.
We have 7 uncovered schools. We have, I don't know, and now I hear 25. We have no idea how many guardians, correct?
Right.
Right. Okay. The law says that the sheriff, in consultation with the school board, and I have the law here, is supposed to decide by July 1st how many guardians, if any, we're going to have, and we're supposed to send that number up to the DOE. I assume that the superintendent did send the number up to the DOE by July 1st as required, but the law said, the Florida statute said the school board and the sheriff were to determine how many. The school board, except for Mr. Buckles perhaps, has no idea how many. I have no idea. The newspaper said 31, but then we have charter schools, so it might be 28. And now another news outlet is telling me they were told 25.
I have no idea.
Okay.
So then your concern is that it said that it was discussed, and you would like the word discussed scratched from
We didn't discuss anything. We were told that we couldn't discuss.
We need to hear from Ms. Crawford, and then we need to make a motion, I guess.
Jane, David said he wants to hear from you.
I'd like to hear from Charlie. I mean, we did go into executive session to discuss. Even though we didn't discuss, we went into executive session. So I'd like for Charlie to weigh in on that.
The purpose of the meeting was school security, and to the degree that names would or would not be shared as part of school security would, in my mind, be a discussion not to share those names. So by the definition of the word discuss, I would say that
The first thing I'm pointing out is that it says guardian volunteers at 7 schools. The second thing I'm pointing out is the figures. On the top, we currently have 8 SROs and 1 supervisor for $444,000. Then we're going to get 3 more SROs and 1 more supervisor for $450,000. Can anybody explain that, or
yeah, there's your numbers.
There's Black High, Interlochen High, Crescent, 8 schools and 1 supervisor, $444,000, and then 3 SROs and 1 supervisor, $450,000. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
Sheriff Wells is here. Would you like for him to address that? And
sure,
we
if he
have
can.
also,
I just soon make a motion and we go ahead and approve the recommendation and see what it is. I mean,
Don't you have a motion on the floor?
Under
No.
Robert's Rules of Order, I mean.
You can make a motion.
I made a motion.
What is it?
That we go ahead and approve the item you pulled. With contract E1. Go ahead and approve it.
You're making a motion
I'm
to
making a
approve?
motion to approve after
E1.
we've had discussion.
Fine.
There's no one there that can clarify that?
Yes, there is, but David wants to make a motion right away, so he's
Well,
making
you get a
Is
motion in
there
a second, and then there's a reasonable amount of time for discussion under Robert's Rules of Order, and then you call for the question.
And who's reasonable time?
A reasonable
Yours?
time would be somebody wouldn't be able to dominate and just go on and on and on about something incessantly, okay?
Like you're doing.
Right.
I'll be happy to see if I can address that to some extent. So I think that the first false thing would be to do is to rely on the cost based on person, because the school district does not pay for every person. The sheriff's office is sharing these expenses and paying for it. So the proposal was for this upcoming school year to add 3 additional youth resource deputies and 1 additional youth resource supervisor, in addition to what we're already carrying, for a total of $750,742.
Right.
So it seems that I could see the where you may be coming from with this, because you have to remember that these are additional positions. So with additional positions come pretty extensive startup cost. Now current year, the school district has paid about 30% of the cost of the youth resource deputies, but to help you with the startup cost, to meet the amount of money that you had, $750, $742, we've adjusted that to where we've agreed to pay about we're agreed to pay about 42% in the upcoming year. So I guess the simple answer to your question is, with a new deputy comes a new gun, a new bulletproof vest, a new car, a new radio, a new laptop computer, and all the things that go there.
That comes out of the district money.
Well, not necessarily. Some of it does, yes, for the call-up, but the district has also paid equipment costs on the current deputies, and what happens is we've developed a scale or a rotating replacement for those items. So next year, the same amount of deputies that you got this year will be less expensive. And we talked about that your options would then be to pay less money because the startup costs are gone, or to continue to add a deputy here and there as the costs allow it, because the startup costs will reduce, therefore the cost of the deputy reduced. Again, we've agreed to pay a good portion of the startup costs this year to help get that many deputies, because we knew what the district had available, and that was a finite number with no option to get it any higher. So we've
take every penny.
Right. So, well, you can look at it how you'd like. However, what you're getting is a more equitable balance, in that we are paying a higher percentage out of our budget, which we did not get from the general fund of Putnam County. So that's coming out of our deputy sheriff's pockets, out of our citizens' neighborhoods, out of our jail, where we pulled it to help you so that we can protect our children. So you can look at it, we're trying to get every penny if you'd like, but what we're doing is doing everything we can to protect our students.
I'm not saying you're trying to get every penny, but you're taking
You said
every
it.
penny. No,
Okay.
you're taking
Oh,
every
good
penny
God.
of our
Give me a
safe
break.
schools money. I didn't say you're
I
trying
know.
to get it.
She
but
just
you
doesn't
are
ever stop.
When we approve this, because it's obvious it's going to be approved, but you're taking every dime of what we've been given for safe schools.
But don't lose the fact that we are giving additional dimes out of our general budget to help you go as far
I
as
do
you absolutely
understand-
can.
I understand that completely, but I don't know when we got started buying sheriff's cars, because I've talked to a lot of school districts around the state, and nobody else buys the cars for the SROs.
And again, it's not we're not asking you for $29,127 per deputy. That's what a patrol car costs. We're asking for, and with all of your youth resource deputies, you pay for a portion of their equipment, and that's on a sliding scale, and every year as that equipment ages, then we figure that back into next year's contract, and we share those equipment costs with you, and we also share their salaries with you because we know that they're not in a school or using that equipment for school purposes every single day of the school year, and that's the biggest reason that it's equitable for both of us to make sure that we share those costs as we're both using those deputies. And it works out to they work for the school board about 70% of the year, and then for the county doing other youth-related things such as summer camps like we're fixing a coast and interlocking next week, and helping to train the training year that Travis spoke about earlier. All those things that our youth resource deputies will be doing, we consider that the county's share, and that's why we have managed to dig about 500, a little north of 500,000 out of the county share to help you with that 750. So in fact, you're getting about what $1.4 million worth of school resource deputies for the 750 because of the equitable sharing that we
So
have.
before I call for the question, I would like to also mention while you're up here with the superintendent that we have in the past purchased gunpowder smelling dogs for the sheriff's office and drug smelling dogs to be used as canine in our schools, and I think that's something we might look at working on in the future, maybe some option like that. But
you're right, and we do continue to maintain a full-time canine inside our schools. That is not a shared cost. That is a completely sheriff's office funded cost, but we continue to maintain that dog. That dog is handled by Sergeant Randy Hayes, one of the supervisors, and that will continue through this school year.
We have purchased in the past. So anyway, I'd like to call for the question.
I'm not going to sit there and bash her, but good God. I mean, what she was asking Joe Wells for, I've heard that in other meetings before.
A couple times.
Yeah, this is something that keeps getting repeated over and over and over and over again. That was just a waste of my time for my kids on my deathbed, where I could have said, the money's buried in the backyard or just buried over here. Now I'm going to have to say the money is buried. Because I've wasted that time now. Good Lord. I feel bad for her. I really do. I feel bad for Cerency and Buckles, Miss Gilliard. They got to sit there and listen to that crap. Holy Jesus.
Well, I tell you what, the rest of the clips, I can just summarize them for you.
Yeah, just go ahead and walk us through it, because I don't think I can take any more.
Yeah, no,
I really
we're not,
don't.
We're not going to beleaguer it with any more of it.
I would rather you give me a colonoscopy right now with a freaking hamster with a GoPro helmet on and shove it up my ass than sit there and listen to another minute. Good Lord. I've heard that same song and dance and over and over and over again.
I know, it's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, good God.
I know. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not you. It's who was elected?
Well,
I guess. Like I say, she's probably a nice woman and all, but I don't know. I'm gonna make
it's like,
up
what don't
something
you
here.
understand?
Yeah.
At this point, we understand that she's leaving the position, and we understand that she doesn't have a lot of time left. What we don't understand is why this information is so important to her to have. We don't feel like it's that important. We don't feel like she needs it that badly. It's just not that pertinent.
Do me a favor, Marie. Put this in the mail for her.
What is it? Exactly. In other school board news, Ms. Gilliard was nominated to the school board's position on the Lift Putnam board in that meeting. So she will be taking that position for the coming school year.
We're going to be talking about that too. I'm not so sure I agree or approve of some of the stuff that's there.
Right.
Of that whole Lift Putnam thing. There's some stuff that I've been looking into that I just, it's too fishy for me.
Which is why I'm mentioning that she's taking that position.
I hope she doesn't. Did she get voted into it?
She was voted into it because that is one of the board positions on the board for Lift Putnam that is required.
Who voted her into it?
Everybody else on the school board.
I understand she didn't want to be voted into it.
I don't think she had a whole lot of choice in the matter.
Good Lord. I like Miss Gilliard. I've never met her.
It was her turn, sort of, kind of. Mr. Buckles had his turn, and Ms. Jorgensen, of course, had her turn. Each had done a year. So it was kind of, she was next up, and I don't think she had a whole lot to say in it.
Okay.
So.
How much time are we running into here?
We got 10 minutes left.
We got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Cerency had made mention of some improvements that the school board had gotten grades back from the state, and there were some improvements in that regard. They had 11 schools that were on the improvement list last year. 8 of those schools, 7, and I believe they were waiting to hear about the 8th school had come off of the list, which was a huge improvement for Putnam County. And the overall grade for Putnam County was only 2 points away from being a B this year. So that was a huge improvement over last year. So kudos to everybody in the school system who worked so hard to bring that overall grade for Putnam County schools up this last year.
Yeah,
That was a really good thing.
They got some good teachers here. They really do.
Yeah.
Teachers that really care about the students. And you got a sheriff's department that cares about the students. They're trying to get the gardening program enacted. Rick Cerency cares about it. Buckles, even I'm not sure that even Miss Jurgensen even cares about it. But she
Her
just
heart
has
is in the right place.
She just has a little different perspective on how she wants to go about things and what she wants to know. It kind of reminds me of, remember Bewitched, Miss Kravitz?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's like. I got to know everything. There's certain things you don't need to know. But like I said, I'm not going to bash her. I'm sure she means well. Just it's kind of hard for me to say that. Anyways, let's cut off of that real quick because I got a couple things that I want to talk about.
Okay.
What's one of my most favorite things in the world to eat? I'm going to give McDonald's a prop here.
Oh, I was going to say, you got a lot of favorite things to eat.
But when in high school, what was I going for? The Big Mac attack.
I love Big Macs too.
50th birthday.
Woohoo!
See those little coins there?
Mm-hmm.
Starting tomorrow, if you buy a Big Mac, they're going to give you a coin, which you can take back and redeem for another Big Mac. So that means I'm getting buy one, get one on the Big Mac.
Yummy.
And my cardiologist is going to kill me, but tomorrow I'm eating that stinking Big Mac.
Oh, because a Big Mac is really bad. Oh, man. But they're so good.
I don't care.
Just tell them you want it, no salt.
This is not a Big Mac like that. I know what that special sauce is. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, but then they won't put salt on the burger patty.
But 50 years ago, the guy came up with it. I remember when we were in high school. I remember when I ate my first one. I was like 6 years old. Best thing I ever tasted. Then they went away for a long time, and they didn't come back out until, we were in the 11th grade, I think.
A little earlier than that, I think. Maybe 10th or 9th.
Okay. One's showing 6 and one's showing 2. Okay. Cool. We still got 20 minutes left. They increased it just so we can get our airtime in. People are probably going, what the hell? I don't want to sit there and listen no more. I got to pee.
I know, right?
Huh? Yeah, I'll get to him. Calm down, Marie. She's getting like Amanda was yesterday with me. Have a way of pissing women off. But Big Macs, you guys, I mean, if you want to buy one, get one free, just go there and get one of the coins. I'm going to go there and get the coins and then keep them. I had the raisin guys from Hardee's.
I still have mine.
Do you? I sold some of mine years ago because there was a Hardee's opening up, and they were spending $10,000 on a full set of them, and I had a full set. Had like 6 or 7 sets because all the kids, of course, some of them, the little ones, Tina and Brian had chewed the heads off, or the hands, or the dogs had mauled them up. But I had my set in my bedroom. I'm like, 10 grand, yeah. So I'm going to keep the coins. Might be like a Trump coin.
Cool.
Might be worth something later on. Let's pop up America's Air real quick. America's Air, they do air conditioning, heating. They have a lot of good stuff going on. Free coupons for all kinds of different stuff. They service Putnam County. They service Volusia and St. Johns County, Jacksonville. I think it's Duval County. But anyways, call them up. They're the ones that take care of my air conditioning for me. They're good people. And their prices are guaranteed. So you're not going to get some hidden fee. And they're not like a lot of companies that will come out and just say, oh, your flux capacitor is bad. No, if it's bad, they're going to tell you to replace it. If it's not bad, they'll tell you. They actually saved me money on my other one, my other air conditioner, because they didn't BS me. Okay, next up we have Mr. Greg. Mr. Greg Williams is on the show every Tuesday night. If you got law needs, call him up. He's a good guy. He's out of Jacksonville, and I know he does help people out on their payments and stuff. He works with people. But if you need an attorney, give him a call. He does all kinds of law. Just give him a call, and if he can't help you, I'm sure he can push you in the right direction or find you an attorney or tell you you're screwed. I don't know.
Let's hope not.
All right. The Bubba book, put that one up. I've had a few people ask me about the Bubba book. The Bubba book is a book that I had written. It's a slapstick comedy, and it's about a guy who meets a girl online. Bubba doesn't have a color. I mean, everybody has a Bubba in their family. I know a black guy that's his sisters call him Bubba. My sister started calling me Bubba when I was little. But it's about a guy, he meets this girl online, and he's trying to get her to come live with him. And he does all kinds of crazy stuff in order to get the money up for a bus ticket. But she has to bring her own mosquito spray, though. Which could be any place in the United States. But it's on Amazon. I saw someplace had it listed for $88 freaking dollars. They were selling, I guess it was a copy I'd signed a couple years ago. And it wasn't on Amazon. It was like Books A Million or something like that. Books A Million. They had it listed for $88. That made me feel good. But then it's like, man, I'm getting ripped off here because the books I put them on sale a bunch. They can go from $6 to $9, $9.99 or something. I wish people would pay $88 a piece. Holy crap. Right? But we're going to give some of them away in the next couple of weeks. I'm just waiting on them to come in. If you want me to sign them, I'll sign them. If not, I could use them for toilet paper later on. That's one of the things in the Bubba book.
I know.
Bubba and Biscuit are walking through the trail, and then Bubba...
Don't tell.
Yeah, I'll just tell this one. Biscuit's got to go to the bathroom real bad. They're going hunting on his cousin's property up in Georgia. And they go across this creek and they get a little ways down the path, and Biscuit asked Bubba if he has any toilet paper in his backpack. And he said, no, but you got $1. And Biscuit said, yeah. And he goes, well, you go back to that creek back there and you take that $1 out. You do your business. You wipe your hind end out. And then you stick the $1 in the creek, put a rock on top of it, and it'll be washed off. When we come back through, we'll get the $1, let it dry out, and you're good to go. You don't lose anything. So Biscuit comes walking up the trail, and Bubba's like, Is that doo-doo I smell? What in the hell? And he looks over and his hand is covered in crap. And he goes, I thought you had $1 you're going to wipe your butt with. And he goes, yeah, you know how hard it is to wipe your butt with 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and a nickel?
Oh, my gosh.
So it's stuff like that. You read the book. But anyhow.
I know.
I'll give like...
It's so different, though, when you tell it.
I'll give like 10 of them away. They're funnier in the book, trust me. We do have the letter that was sent out from the city to the soup kitchen. It was just sent over to us. So we're going to put that up. Can you read it, Tammy?
No.
Okay, I can. It says, to Mr. David and Miss Linda. Yeah, I'm not going to give their address or anything. It says, are a zoning violation of 155 North County Road 315 in Interlochen, Florida. Please be advised that during the July 10th, 2018 Interlochen City Council meeting, the town council was advised by town attorney David E. Holmes that your current operation of a soup kitchen in a R1 zone district is in violation of current zoning. You must cease and desist all operations at your location, any and all activity relating to or as a soup kitchen. The current R1 zoning district allows outright only single family dwellings, however, has some allowances by special exception. Well, right there they says it's by special exception. The town cannot guarantee or predict the outcome of any application for use of your residence as a soup kitchen as a special exception to the current zoning. If you desire to apply for a special exception, please contact our office and we will be more than happy to work with you on that process. If there's any questions, please call 386-684-3811. And that was Miss Pamela S. Wilburn, town clerk. She's the one that he said was on vacation, correct? I have to look at my notes.
Or Marie.
Yeah, Miss Clover is the one that's actually there right now, the assistant. That is messed up.
Okay.
They need to do their special rezoning stuff.
Yes.
And not charge him the $700. What a load of crap that is. How are you going to sleep at night charging somebody that?
I don't know how Mr. McInnes sleeps at night with everything that he's said and done. I just can't get over that.
I don't either. I mean, to sit there and call, where's that thing at again? I want people to see that. Right there. I mean, good Lord. I mean, you can see where the thing is at, where it's zone. Swell up that bottom picture for us, Chris.
I can actually get a different one. Hold on. I can get the full, just that by itself. Give me half a second.
His property is outlined in red there on the left. When you put that back up, I had Cameron overlay the property appraiser's outline.
That's messed up.
There it is.
Here we go. There's a church right there.
Yeah, right across the street. And then the circle on the bottom right is the junior high school. And the yellow curvy line on the top is the street that Mr. McInnes lives on. I will not say which house it is, although I do know which one it is. He lives on that road.
So exactly where's the soup kitchen at on this picture?
It's in the top left-hand red square. That's the whole property. The soup kitchen sits kind of to the middle front of the property.
So the soup kitchen is in the square.
The square, yes.
So I don't see any other houses where it would be rural residential unless you go to run across Highway 315. That looks like it should be commercial. I mean,
it should be. You would think it would be zoned commercial, because everything else around it is pretty much commercial, with the exception of where Mr. McInnes and his neighbor live, and that's just a road that opens out onto 315. Right directly across the street from where the soup kitchen is, and their driveways are only like maybe 10 or 15 feet from meeting is the church.
Good God. That is so messed up.
Everything else, I know, everything else there on 315 is pretty much a commercial type of a building or property.
I don't see where that's affecting anybody. I mean, I could see if there was houses all the way around it and it was sitting in the middle of a freaking neighborhood.
Right.
But to cut them off from that, that's nuts.
And he said that Mr. McInnes had made some accusations that people from the soup kitchen were cutting through his yard, but Mr. David said over the phone when I spoke with him that Mr. McInnes' yard is fenced and that nobody would be able to walk through his yard anyway, even if they wanted to. And there's a sidewalk, a public access sidewalk that goes across the front of his property.
It sounds like Mr. McInnes is like my neighbor back here. That's, doesn't want anything around here. The guy's screaming at little kids. He hates life. I would hate to be him to be that freaking miserable. And it sounds like Mr. McInnes needs to get his cowboy toting ass over there and help these people out and see what it's all about. Maybe that's what it takes to change his mind. I just wish he'd move out of the county.
Well, sometimes, like you say, people like that need to see what something like that is doing for the community, what's involved and what they do and how they help. And then maybe that would change his attitude.
I doubt it, because if he can't see it now, I mean, how much of an IQ does it take? It doesn't take an IQ over 4 to understand that people are homeless. We live in hard times. Ever since the United States has been in existence, people have been in hard times. And to cut them off, today, 100 people went without food. Mr. McInnes, because of you and a few of your cronies, 100 people went hungry today. Some of those were children. Some of them were veterans. Yeah, a couple of them might have been drug addicts. They still went hungry.
Yeah.
Because of you. Because of what you started. I'm sure he had something to do with that. But to say that they're Christians bucking up against the law, Christians been doing that. Yeah, I mean, didn't Paul do that? Didn't John the Baptist do that and get his freaking head cut off?
Yes.
But Judas didn't. Judas didn't buck up against the law.
This is true.
Sold people out. I don't know. Sell out, move out. I don't have a heart like you do. And I don't have the understanding like you do. Just to see those words that McInnes wrote there is just, that pisses me off. I hope he calls me out for a fight. I'd love to get my ass whipped defending the homeless. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay. We're getting toward the end of this. I think we had, what was the other thing we had that we were going to put up that we didn't get to the other night? That Batman poster is freaking me out because I turn around. I went to walk in the studio and I flipped the lights on. Swear to God, I was going to have to drop a couple nitro tablets because I just see a figure standing there and I wasn't used to it. And when I turn around, I've got the Batman shadow behind me. Wait, let me raise the camera up. Batman. And the Joker. Batman's got a guitar in front of him. It's kind of freaky. Huh?
There was a comic book story where Batman hated rock and roll.
Batman doesn't hate rock and roll. I love Batman. The cool thing about Batman is he has no special powers. Everything he's got, he makes, or Alfred makes for him. Not like Spider-Man, get bit by a spider,
His toys.
Huh?
Spider-Man makes his web shooters.
Yeah, but Spider-Man can flip. He can do all kinds of crap. He has super strength. The thing I like about Spider-Man, though, unlike Superman, truth, justice, the American way, Okay, that's all cool. Spider-Man always talks smack, you know. He get in a fight. Yo, mama. How'd you like that? Bitch smacking.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Batman was always cool, though. Everything he had, though, you know, was either made by him or this foundation, the Wayne Foundation, or Alfred.
Yep.
Or, what's his name that played in the last one? The black guy.
Morgan Freeman played him.
Morgan Freeman.
Something Fox, and his last name is Fox.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman played Fox in it. It was kick butt.
Yeah.
I want that motorcycle and I want that car. I want all of his toys. What the hell can I say?
Of course.
If I ever win the lotto, you'll see me in a cape, a black cape, walking around. Batman. They'll put me in a nut board, but hell, I'm going to have fun with it.
Yeah, right?
I'll be the best Batman ever since Adam West.
Yeah, since Adam West.
That's what I said.
Not including.
Since Adam West, no.
I know.
Nobody will ever be better than Adam West.
No, he was the best ever.
And then he became a porn star.
Don't.
After Batman. He did.
No.
Well, you kind of had to expect that. I mean, he was
Don't
running
go
around
there.
with a young guy in tights.
Don't go there.
I love Batman, you know that. Okay, what else? What were we gonna? We had one to look at. I know we only have 5 minutes. There was one that was real quick.
Okay, let's look.
I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was Monday. It wasn't the prince or the school superintendent crapping on the thing. Oh, you know who we got to say hi to? Where's our buddy? We're forgetting her. Oh, my God. How are we going to forget that? Lee girl. Lee, we love you. I want the one with her tongue sticking out. That one's funny. Or the Dracula one. That one's even better.
Give me half a second.
Yeah, find the Dracula.
There's that one.
We need to do a whole collage of her. He's coming. He's coming. Here it comes. Oh, and April Iser. You guys get out and vote. District. You know who we're going to give a shout out to? It was on that last one while you're there. April Iser, vote for her. District 3, Putnam County. Not school board, Putnam County. Go back to the last one.
It's too bad we can't have one of her in every district.
Put Cindy Shaw's picture up there.
Okay.
I just saw it on the last one. We'll give out a shout out to Mama B as well. Need to get a picture of her one time. She is so cool. And Miss Betty. Miss Betty, thank you for writing in tonight. There you go, Cindy. You got your shout out. What's up, girl? And we already said a shout out to Aiden. Oh, my niece, Rosie. She's in bed now. And we got one more shout out to my other friend.
Oh, thank you. That'll never get old.
No. That's got crazy eyes written all over it. Okay.
You gotta love how one of them goes more to the middle than the other one does.
Did you ever see? Yeah, you got blue eyes. One blue this way and one blue that way. Mr. Deeds. Remember Mr. Deeds? Crazy eyes. Yeah. I don't know. Why are you in there? I bit the mailman. Are you sure he wasn't just delivering a package? Well, it could have been. But no, we want to, seriously, the numbers have been growing on you guys that are listening and following and still hanging in there with us. Thank you so much for listening to us. What?
I have something real quick. Michaela. Michaela is in the hospital. I'm going to put this up on the page too, probably in the morning. Her mom, I spoke to her on Messenger tonight. She says they still don't know what's wrong. They are putting a feeding tube in. They are putting a PICC line in. They are doing testing on her. Please keep her in your prayers. They do not know what's going on yet. She's been back in the hospital for a few days. They tried to let her go home. They didn't even get halfway home before they had to turn around and take her back to the hospital. She's at Wolfson's, and she is very, very sick.
Yep.
Again.
Okay. You guys can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, IITW Radio, Facebook on IITW Radio, or Twitter, either one. I want to thank you guys for letting us come into your hearts, your homes, your minds, getting in there, warping them. Huh?
Subscribe on YouTube.
What?
Subscribe.
Oh yeah,
on
make
YouTube.
sure you subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, and we have a bunch of contests coming up. We have a kick butt one, but thank you for letting us into your lives. We love you guys, and we'll see you back here on Friday night, God willing. The creek don't rise, and the government don't get me first. Joe Wells will be here on Friday night too. Enjoy Tyler Riffley as we close this out.
Bye, y'all. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Sunset lights come on, bleachers packed, worries gone. It's the real deal, that feeling inside when you walk out on that field. You got the heart of a champion.